Hey, I just wanted to welcome back the community again. I know it's been a minute since my last video, but we're going to be doing a portfolio update. So the big thing you might have noticed is that the last time I think I did a video on my portfolio, I think it was July 20th, and we had 43,200 in this account. Now we're up to 57,955. That's a difference of 15,000 in 3 months. Not too bad, honestly. Very, very happy with that. I've had a bunch of jobs. It's kind of why I haven't been doing so many videos lately. I've been extremely busy trying to make that money for this portfolio. The other thing I want to talk about is my spend account. I moved a lot of the money that was in here. I think you guys remember seeing I was doing $100 a week. I transferred over pretty much all that money out of this account to put into stocks and to invest it, to put it to work. I just figure, I see the economy's going up. I think it's all right to move that. I'm going to continue to try to rebuild that again so I have that reserve money. But I just figured at this time it felt like a good move. I was trying to pick up more shares of Sunoco, and a big deal about Sunoco that I wanted to point out to you guys, let's go down there, is that finally, I was able to get over 1,000 shares of Sunoco. So the big deal about this, the really big deal about this is that this pays about 82, almost 83 cents per share every quarter of the year. So this is going to pay about $850 to me every 3 months. So the nice thing about that is that that's roughly what my mortgage costs me every month. So this one stock is now capable of paying my mortgage for 4 months a year, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's what, a third of a year. So that's pretty amazing. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm a little down on the share price on this. I want to say, I'm at $26.73. It's at $24.82. The only saving grace with me in this holding right now is just those massive dividends that just keep rolling in. And they're just getting bigger and bigger every single time. So that's super exciting to see. And it's really great to see that happening. The other thing I wanted to talk about is my activity. So I know you guys can see it here. You can see all these different companies that paid me dividends. So for the last 3 months, I've actually been paid out $746.80 in dividends, right? So that equals out to be about $250 a month, which to me is pretty amazing. That, I mean, when I started this portfolio, I was literally getting pennies for some of these stocks. Not a lot of money, and for now to be getting up to $250 a month coming in, I mean, that's enough to pay for my car loan every single month. And this is off of this last quarter, the third quarter of the year. So now, as I know we roll into the fourth quarter, as I know we picked up a ton more stock, you can see, since July we were at 42. I mean, there's $15,000 more. That's going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where, I mean, we'll get to $300, $400, $500 a month. And that's going to be really great to see. That's going to really start to see that fire movement happen. We're going to really start to see that these dividends are actually able to pay some of my bills. Or in my case, I think what I'm really going to do is just keep rolling them back into where they came from. So they keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, I'm only 26 years old. I'm going to be 27 this December. So I have a long time till retirement. And honestly, I'm just going to keep rolling this and getting it bigger and bigger. My ultimate goal for this portfolio is to hit 100,000 within the next year. So I'd really like to be able to get there. I'm a little ways away. I mean, if the economy could just work with us for a minute, if you look at this last week, it's been down. This last month's been down, or actually up, so not too bad. But I mean, if it would work with me and keep going up like it has this quarter, we're going to get there pretty quick, So honestly, pretty happy so far with this portfolio, what it's done. The last 1 year, we've reached 9.33% return. Nothing crazy, nothing phenomenal. But I'm happy with it. You know what I mean? I'm happy with that. That for me is perfect. The biggest thing for me too is these dividends. I mean, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm really excited to see that happening. The other huge thing that I want to really bring up is the Roth IRA. So I started this recently. I want to say, I started this back in April with $500. And I've been able to finally max that out too and hit my $6,000 for the year. And this is kind of a big deal because I've never had the Roth. I just started that recently. But in retirement, having those tax-free income coming in, that's going to be really, really great to have. It's going to lower my taxes on everything else if I have an income that's not going to push that up. So it's really great to have this. I've made $290.30 so far on the Roth in a couple months. Not too bad. Most of that's been from dividends, but it's been like roughly 3 months. yeah, about 3 months, and I've already made 8%. So honestly, pretty happy with the Roth. The Roth has really blown me away. I mean, I did kind of get lucky because I started it during that coronavirus stuff going on, so the market was down. That definitely helped push my return up a lot higher. So it's definitely really cool to keep seeing this growing, to see it get bigger. I did increase my margin a little bit, but the thing about that is too, though, that I still have 7,600 more of credit available to me. I'm using about 62.33% of my credit limit. So for me to have a maintenance call, or for me to have my account liquidated, I'd have to drop by about $41,000. And I just don't see that. I'd have to have a freaking 70% drop in my portfolio to have an issue. So honestly, I think that right now where my margin's at, I'm very comfortable with that at a 2% rate. I'm very okay with that. Very happy that that should be able to, as the market goes up more, should be able to return me a higher return on my investment. So we'll have to watch that, play it by ear. But very, very happy with it. So you can see the account's getting bigger. I mean, at the end of the day, pretty happy so far. If there's anything you guys in particular want me to point out, or if you guys have any questions, don't forget to ask them. But I mean, really, really looking forward to this account growing. Really looking forward to doing more with this. So far, even just hitting 58,000 for me is a really big deal. I mean, I remember when I started, a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2 years ago. I was, 30 grand in debt. I really had no money, no options, nothing really going for me. And I started reading some books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, a big, really important book for me that opened my eyes. And a few others like The Richest Man in Babylon, just a couple like that. Those books really opened my eyes up to the possibility that you can actually create wealth that isn't specifically created by your efforts, your physical work. Something that's creating money when I'm asleep. That's something I really want. And it opened my eyes up to it, and I've been able to build that. As you can see, it was like pretty slow at first. It took a while right here. You could see to get to a point, slowly rising. And then this coronavirus thing really brought me back down to earth. And it kind of tested me because I've never gone through a recession or even a correction, I guess you could call it. But it really took me from 40 down to 26. So a $14,000 drop like that for me was kind of a moment to sweat. But I mean, I bought as much as I could in this range in here. And when it turned around, you could see it really propelled me up to a whole new height. And also just putting more money in also got me there too. But it's just really cool to see how a combination of those two, like dollar cost averaging your price share down. Because even that, a big example of that, let's go back to Sunoco again, one of my favorite all-time stocks here, is this. When I got into it, I was really getting chewed out on this one because I was at 32 or 30 something a share when I started buying this. So now to be down to 26.73, I think it puts me in a really solid position. I think Sunoco's paying a pretty solid dividend, like 12 or 13% right now. And they haven't cut their dividend. Their last quarterly earnings report show that they're the cash is pretty much rolling in. Their profit per gallon of fuel went way up, even though their number of gallons of fuel sold went down. They were still able to pull in a much higher profit than usual, which is great. To me, it looks like really good prospects for the company, So my goal for this was to hit 1,000 shares. Very happy that I hit it. And now, honestly, I don't see a reason why not to go to 2,000. I'm slowly probably going to work my way there because obviously that would be another almost 30 G's I'd have to come up with. And I want to diversify a little more into the other parts of my portfolio that you can see are lagging. One of those big things that I noticed was lagging is real estate. Real estate has really been lagging on me. You can see that right here. Everything else in my portfolio is done pretty reasonably well or reasonably expected. But the two real estate parts here did extremely unwell during this COVID. They really haven't come back. Yeah, VNQ actually did okay and was able to hold its own better in a recession type situation. But this real estate heavy, which is more of basically just a fund of my own I built out of REITs, it had took a beating. And I'm hoping to come back. And I've thought about DCA, dollar cost averaging my price down on those stocks. I've done it a little bit because you can see that I'm underweight in that compared to where I want to be. But I just don't know if it's worth my time. I'm going to do a lot more research into this into the future. I might end up just getting rid of this and making it a VNQ portfolio. But we're going to have to see. I really got to do a lot more research into what's inside this, But if there's anything else you guys want to see, anything else you want me to talk about, definitely available to do that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well, Real Money Media. And don't forget to subscribe, like these videos, throw the algorithm some love for us so we can get these videos out there to people. I really appreciate the support from this community, and I'll talk to you guys next time in the next video. All right, thank you.